On June 4th, 1783. Before powered flight, before even the Wright brothers, a French inventor defied gravity. But how did they do it, and why did it change history forever? In 1783, the world was still bound to the Earth. No one had ever left the ground, not in a powered machine, not in a dream. But ideas were rising, slow and steady, like smoke from a fire. Joseph Montgolfier, a papermaker by trade, saw the sky differently. His brother Etienne, a printer, shared the vision. Together they asked, what if air itself could lift us? The Enlightenment had begun. Minds like Newton and Descartes had mapped the heavens. But flight? That was still a myth, until a curious experiment changed everything. On September 23, 1782, a year before the manned demonstration, the brothers launched a balloon. It carried a sheep, a duck, and a rooster. All survived the trip. Parisians flocked to see the impossible. Some laughed, others wept. The balloon had no engine, no wings, just fire and fabric. And yet, it rose. Every thread of the balloon was tested. Every seam was stitched by hand. The brothers knew, to carry a human, they would need more than wonder. They would need courage. June 4th, 1783. The balloon, a vast silk envelope filled with smoke. The crowd held its breath as two men ascended, defying gravity in a fragile craft. Tens of thousands watched from the ground. Some feared the men would fall. Others believed they had touched the divine. The balloon soared, silent and fearless. The men flew for 8 minutes, no more, no less. They circled the city, then descended. When they landed, the crowd roared. It was the first time a human had left the Earth and returned. The balloon touched down in a field. The men emerged, unharmed. They had proven the impossible, that air could carry human weight, and that the sky was no longer a barrier. Etienne Montgolfier, the printer, said, "We have not conquered the sky. We have only begun to understand it." The brothers had opened a door, one that would lead to flight, exploration, and the modern world. The event was recorded in journals across Europe. It was no longer a myth. Flight, powered by fire and air, had become a reality, and the world would never be the same. Today's hot air balloons carry tourists, not scientists. But they share the same principle. Fire lifts fabric, and fabric lifts human dreams. The Montgolfier's legacy is still in the air. The brothers' flight inspired the Wright brothers, Santos Dumont, and all who would follow. It proved that flight was not just a dream, it was a science. The Montgolfier's experiment was the first step in a long journey. It led to powered flight, space travel, and the world we live in today. A world where the sky is no longer a limit. Schools teach the Montgolfier's story as a lesson in courage and curiosity. It reminds students that the impossible is often just a question of how to begin. Every year, festivals celebrate the first flight. Balloons of every color fill the sky, a tribute to the brothers who dared to rise, and to the dreamers who follow. The Montgolfier's flight was more than an experiment. It was a declaration that humanity's greatest adventures begin not with engines, but with wonder and the courage to rise. Explore the skies that changed humanity's destiny. Subscribe for more history redefined.